Day 6 at Browns training camp was a little bit unusual. A visit by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and also John Madden, the Hall of Fame coach and broadcaster. Mary Kay, and that's something you see every day at training camp.
No, I never saw Pete Rozelle here or Paul Tagliabue, so it was a great treat for the fans. He actually went over and spoke to the fans in the tent over there. I thought that was really cool. And the fans who have been coming out, you know, not only have they been seeing Roger Goodell do something very friendly like that, but also Mike Holmgren. Mike Holmgren has been going around in his golf cart and getting out there and talking to the fans. So that's been great. As far as news from Roger Goodell, though, we really didn't get what we were thinking we might get today. Tony, what about that?
Well, Roger Goodell said he has no ruling yet on whether or not Shaun Rogers and Robert Smith will face suspensions as a result of their unrelated gun arrests in the offseason or in the last 6 months. However, he did kind of, I think, tip his hand a little bit, Mary Kay. He referred to both incidents as mistakes and clear violations of the law. I asked Roger Goodell if Shaun Rogers would get time off for good behavior for helping track down a DUI, a driver while he was driving, helping police get him. And he said he was aware of that situation, and it was a demonstration. He said on one hand there's a player who did something wrong, and then a player did something right. So we'll find out soon enough. I think the Browns are bracing for at least a one-game suspension for both players, and they may be served concurrently, both at the same time. Let's turn to another position review today. Quarterbacks. Mary Kay, we counted like 3 more interceptions for Jake Delhomme today in various drills, situation drills. Give us your take on what's going on with him and Seneca Wallace, for that matter.
I was really kind of surprised to see some of those interceptions from Jake today, that he's been sprinkling in a few here and there, but this is the time and place to make those kind of mistakes and take some chances. Eric Mangini, we asked him about it this morning. He said he's absolutely not concerned. He's really happy with what he's seen from Jake Delhomme, but, you know, based on what he went through last year with 18 interceptions against 8 touchdowns in only 12 games, you know, it starts to be a little bit of a concern. So far, coach says no. Seneca Wallace, you know, he provided the highlights today of practice. He and Josh Cribbs together, fans are going to love the Wildcat, the Cyclone, everything those two guys have going. Seneca caught a touchdown pass from Josh Cribbs, and then he returned the favor later. Seneca hit Josh Cribbs with the touchdown pass. So those two guys have been very, very exciting. Your thoughts overall on the quarterback position? Well,
on Delhomme and for that matter, Wallace, I think it's only natural. These two guys are new to everybody here. There are no teammates other than Bobby Ingram played with Seneca Wallace. I think they're still feeling out their teammates. If they were here for 3 or 4 years, like their predecessors were, and they were still, and Jake was still playing like this, throwing those interceptions, I think there'd be more reason for concern. I think we got to give it a break and just see it play out over the 4 preseason games. And I will say though, I think Wallace, and I've mentioned this before in our video, is pretty impressive. I like what I see of him, and Delhomme's leadership continues to be praised. I don't think Coach Mangini has expressed any concern yet.
No, he hasn't. There's another thing that some of us have noticed that have been watching practice, and that is some passes batted down. So those 2 things, he needs to work the kinks out on that. Scott Fujita had one, Kenyon Coleman had one, Chris Gokong had one today, all off Jake Delhomme. So some of these things are, you know, you don't like to see them, but once again, they're working out the kinks. Eric's not concerned. They're very happy with what they see from both of those top 2 quarterbacks. And, you know, we just don't see all that much of Colt McCoy, so we can't tell you, you know, that he looks fabulous or, you know, he's not looking so great yet because, you know, he really hasn't been getting all that many reps, but, you know, he is coming along and learning. And that's it from day 6 of Browns training camp in Berea.